ears. Do we have everybody back?
Yes, I'm here.
Yep.
I think I was waiting for... I haven't heard Nodal yet.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. Hi, Nodal.
Yeah, hey, what up?
Nodal, if I told you were my favorite, would you believe me?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you told me I wasn't your favorite, I wouldn't believe you.
What's next?
So, what I want to do is I want to press these guys because Seeker said something about prisoners and being tortured.
Mhm.
I want to ask them if there are any prisoners here currently being tortured.
Not in their area of the compound, no. But they do know that there's a torture chamber where they can basically drown people by lowering them, chaining into a thing and lowering them into the water. And sometimes when the platform comes back up out of the water, it's covered with fresh blood.
I want to know the. I want to root into this guy's mind a little more. I want to know the ways to the other parts of the compound, including where that water is.
That water is very close to hand. If you just go up around the corner here, it would be north of this T-junction, or south of this T-junction.
What about the other paths of the rest of the compound?
There's some stairs right there.
You might want to write this down, because they're going to give you a kind of incoherent description of it. But there are two major kind of arteries. The one down here that you came through, and then the one here outside. So this split is actually split down the middle of one of the arteries.
Was that to the northwest that you just tabbed? Or like directly north of us?
You can actually see it out of this door.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So those are the two major arteries, and there are smaller tributaries come off either one of those. The whole compound is like an abandoned public works project from good Lord knows how many kings ago that wanted to put in sewer systems underneath all of Dunfoss. This area, it was such a failure. It completely flooded during storms, and it just didn't work well. So the entire project was abandoned, and the city doesn't actually have a sewer system. So this is all just kind of abandoned ruins at this point. There are places of the compound that are completely dry, entire pipes and arteries in areas. So the question is, how do you get to the other parts of the compound? And the answer is basically just follow the arteries. If you follow any of these major, this one here, or this one up here, and follow them around, there's really not much to keep you from getting anywhere. They do have a method, the spellcasters at least, the Warlocks, have a method of locking doors, which you have already circumvented, much to their chagrin.
Where do they go?
What? Yeah, where do the stairs lead? Just other parts of the compound?
Which stairs?
Those are stairs, aren't they?
No, that's a
Oh, the
bridge
bridge.
going across that artery.
Oh, okay.
How many distinct people have you ever seen enter or exit this place?
Between these three guys, they may have been hired on here for a matter of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They've probably seen several dozen people come in and out. Sometimes changing, like one of these thugs will leave or take on other work and get replaced. They're not really told the identities of the people that come in and out. They know that they serve some kind of devil in some capacity that grants them magic and things. They tell you the woman that they mistook for earlier, she's kind of the boss of the place. Her name is Skada. They're not allowed to talk to Skada. Skada does not give them orders directly.
Are there any other higher-ups you're not allowed to talk to?
It's possible, but they don't know.
Who's going to be expecting these guys? Like, when are these guys going to be found missing?
I think we murdered everyone who would find them missing.
Well, that's the question. Is someone going to come through expecting to pay them at some point? Like,
I think we murdered the guy they expect to pay him.
Yeah.
It was the guy with the pike.
Yeah.
They don't really know the answer to that either.
okay.
Because again, yeah, they had two bosses, basically shift managers, more or less, which is who the Karen has to talk to when she comes down here. And then she
How
gets
long
stabbed with a pike.
until the next change of the shifts?
Noon and midnight.
Next question is, when, or rather, they knew about the torture chambers that are in a part of the compound they haven't been to. Do they know about any other parts of the compound that?
No, they've been to this torture chamber they're describing. That's how they know about it.
Oh, okay. Have they been to anywhere else that we should know about?
No, they're kind of describing this whole section here, like this area here, if that makes sense.
Yep.
All right. So
And- Well, I just want to one last thing before I call the spell to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I want to push in one more time to see if there's anything he's hiding from us.
Okay.
That's a int check contested by me.
That's he rolled a 3.
I win.
There is somebody he's not telling you about, and what he's thinking is he's like kind of glaring at the other two guys, and the thoughts over and over is just, don't tell them about the judge. Don't tell them about the judge. Don't tell them about the judge.
Well, I'm gonna push in deeper to look for information about the judge.
So that's another roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Got to beat a 6.
You got it. I do.
Okay. How much does Seeker actually know about like Dunfoss history, the past 100 years or so, back to like Juliana's reign?
Probably just the, like, if there's any weird unexplained events, that's more what Seeker would know about. Like, oh, and any big changes in the law.
It's not like a magical event, if that's what you mean.
Seeker's interested in, like, 2 very specific things. He's interested in magical and otherwise unexplained curiosities.
Okay.
And he's interested in knowing exactly what laws he's breaking at any given point in time.
So, the man that he's thinking about, don't tell him about the judge, is a man named Judge Bradthorpe. Bradthorpe is a name that you might casually know of, having lived in Dunfoss for the past 2 years. He was a judge at the city courts during the time of Juliana I. And he served for a very long time. He was close to 90 years old when he died, and he never retired from his duties. So hundreds and hundreds of people through the years, commoners and noblemen alike, knights and wizards and all manner of people, were sentenced by this man. He died very suddenly, not unexpectedly because of how old he was, but very suddenly. But there are rumors surrounding his death. The man wasn't married, he didn't have a family, and he bequeathed his vast wealth in a very strange way. He split it into thirds, left 1/3 to the crown, 1/3 to the judiciary, the court itself, and 1/3 to the Court of Commons, which at the time was being administered by Joni Fletcher.
Okay.
And that's strange, because usually he would find, like, he would have kin to bequeath his wealth to. But his entire estate went directly back into the city. The rumor is there was no body. The rumor is his grave is empty.
And what does this guy know that he's trying to hide it?
Oh, Judge Bradthorpe is here in the complex.
Okay, great, fantastic.
Yeah, in fact, pretty nearby, actually. Just kind of down this artery a little ways on the right-hand side. You have to jump down into the water and climb up the other side of a wall.
Yeah. Does this guy... Because I know how the criminal mind works.
Yeah.
Does this guy have anything in his back pocket, any blackmail that he could use on the judge?
The question kind of doesn't make sense in this context, for reasons that you're not clear on yet.
Alright,
But-
well then I'm going to try to figure out the reasons.
He knows that the judge is a very powerful spellcaster, and he's hoping by not telling you that this judge exists, you guys will bumble into his room and he'll destroy all of you. And,
Okay, great.
very notably, the other 2 guys are not mentioning the judge at all.
Uh-huh. And I will turn after going as deep as I can into this. I'm not able to try to look for the reason why that question didn't make sense, or could I dive in for that?
I'll do a contested roll for that. We're not rubbing up on the duration of the spell, are we?
No, it's like a minute, so
We've been at this for a little while.
give me one more of that. This will be the last one.
Oh, all right. 4.
Yeah, I can't lose that.
So, the reason the question kind of doesn't make sense is because legally and officially, and as far as anybody knows, the judge is dead. They're blackmailing him doesn't make any sense.
Okay. And I will turn my back on this guy after having juiced his brain and say, so your companion here tried to abandon the rest of you to us. Is there anything you want to tell us that he's been hiding?
And the two men look one to the other. And then back at you. And he just kind of shakes his head. Says, we'll kill him for you, if you like.
And the Seeker will just kind of look towards Gus and then say, well, Gus, do what you want. They're not willing to tell us everything. They wouldn't tell us about the judge.
Oh, okay.
Gus, what do you do?
I start swinging my hammer in that round, like just like in a windmill, like
Make an intimidation check.
Yeah, okay. I'm good at these, or I've trained in these.
Okay. Yeah, strength intimidation.
He's intimidating him with a Simpsons gag.
That is a 16. Oh, you said strength and strength.
Strength intimidation.
Okay, so that is. Oh gosh, that's a 21.
And the guy winces and he blurts out. And he says, he doesn't work for us. He's not with us. He's in his own room. We stay out of his way. He stays out of ours.
Even stays out of the way of the Warlocks.
Says he's dangerous. The Warlocks don't approach him anymore.
Alright, and Seeker will go towards the others and kind of like reiterate what he learned, and then say, I'm starting to think that we might be a bit too roughed up to go take on this guy right now. What do you say we take these 3 guys up? And, who was
Very
it?
important. Are there any other ways in or out of this place?
And Seeker will reiterate the ways in and out that he learned from the guy's brain.
I mean, in terms of getting into the rest of the city.
Oh.
They assume there are, but they don't know for certain. They've always come in and out using that tower that you guys used in the White Hart district. But it's possible that the waterways here empty out into cisterns deeper below the city. It's also possible there are secret ways in and out.
But they don't know. Okay.
Right. Up above you, you've got courts, you've got prisons, no residences, and then below you, you've just got the ocean.
All right, here's my thoughts. A, we should go loot that little cache. So we're right here.
I'm with you.
Load it all onto Scrappy. B, we should get the bodies and the 3 of them and bring them back up, and we should just make camp in that tower.
So I've got a C to that, which is rather than making camp in that tower with these 3 guys, we should take them back, take what we now know about Jodie Fletcher, taking money from this guy who's not actually dead, and who's plotting against the city with a bunch of warlocks, sell it to her enemies, get us a bunch of resources, come back here.
So to be clear, this happened a long time ago. This happened during the reign of Juliana I, when this judge supposedly died.
Do we even know that Jodie Fletcher is aware that he wasn't dead, though? Like,
do I care? She took a bunch of money.
Also,
I mean, it's a bequeathment.
She took 1/3 of his estate. It wasn't left to her. It was left to the Court of Commons, which she administered at the time.
I don't think this is the dirt on her you're thinking it is. My main concern is I don't want to let we should keep our. I agree that we probably need to rest. We got pretty beaten up. I'm completely out of my strongest reagents. But I think we should keep an eye as well as we can on anyone coming or going in this place. Maybe drop an alarm on the entrance, and that's why I'm thinking we just, I've got some basic camping gear on Scrappy's packs.
Keeping in mind, if you guys take the long rest, tomorrow morning you owe the Ponce.
tomorrow
morning
standing
will be
here to just pay him the 500 this week because we're busy.
Like
actually, I'm gonna say, Alexander specifically said, as long as we have 500 gold in petty cash, if he shows up and we can't be there, just pay him the 500.
Okay. Is that agreeable to all of you? Does that sound?
No.
Yeah.
No, because there's a little girl. and she's been
Right,
spirited away, and we put her in that position.
I am slowly becoming more suspicious that this little girl is not what she's seen.
I mean, I don't think there's anything we can do about it. She literally vanished. These guys haven't seen her. I don't necessarily think that she's even physically moved from there. She might have magicked her way out. Like, so I don't... And also, it doesn't do her any good for us to go and get killed.
Maybe if somebody else hadn't taken the last bit of healing. But I'm almost dead.
You are going to be bitter about that, aren't you?
Lucius just starts poking him really hard until he takes that last point of damage.
So yeah, Alex is going to go and bring Scrappy, who is pack saddle, and investigate this cache of stuff.
Alright, bear with me 1 second.
Yep.
Let me pull up. You don't have numbers on the map, but I have numbers on my map, so I know you're at the right spot. So,
Sure.
there are large barrels and several shelves along the walls here. Going through the barrels, they contain fresh water, dry rations, and salted meat.
Mm-hmm.
The shelves contain many, many bottles of wine and liquor. Just running the gamut of quality and cost. Some of these you've seen in tap houses around the city. Some of them you've only heard of by reputation because you don't spend 600 gold on a bottle of fine dwarven stout. The labels, again, run the entire spectrum of every vineyard and distillery in Dunfoss and the surrounding regions.
I need your expertise.
Next to the shelves, there are several crates, and most of these contain living supplies for the sewer watch. Things like clothes, linens, and things. Standard. So we're just a storage spot for their stuff. And a variety of common, like, spell components and alchemical supplies. Nothing you're going to be able to really do much of anything with. The kind of, like, bits of fluff and string and copper shavings kind of supplies. A few sets of, like, alchemic equipment. An alembic, mortar pestle kind of thing. And 7 beautiful, complete flatware sets. Each one made of porcelain. The metal pieces are made with gold. Each one contains 2 sizes of plate, a dinner plate, and then a smaller serving plate, a fork, a spoon, a sharp knife, an egg cup. And there are 7 of these.
All right, Gus,
So
get
this
every
alcohol,
bottle of wine that's worth more than 20 gold.
it's all
You can't.
all worthless.
There's way too much.
It's all worthless anyway. Okay, like, so I should take it all.
There's way too much here. You're not. I mean, you could
Okay,
probably carry a
load
few
the most
select bottles.
valuable onto Scrappy,
Yeah, okay.
and I'll take the flatware too.
Well, Seeker holds up a finger before you take the flatware, and he turns around and says, "Is this the judge's flatware? Does he eat from this? Does he come get this?"
And they don't know how the judge eats or where he gets his food from.
Okay, and then Seeker waves his hand. All right.
However,
Humans
they
don't
look
live that
very, very nervous as you guys are loading this flatware and some of this expensive liquors.
Why are you nervous?
Who are you asking?
Whoever's closest to Florian.
And
Not Lucius.
Lucius says, I don't know. Florian, he responds, he says, what will you do with us?
Well, I'm of a mind to just turn you into the moss caps.
Have you guys?
He looks at the ground and says, if you're going to turn us into the moss caps, then I'm not telling you. And he kind of, the one you're standing over, so this guy here, kind of resolute.
Granted, I could be persuaded to do otherwise.
And at this point, they all start talking over each other. This one starts saying he'll tell you if you don't turn him over to the moss caps. This one is just starting to bark out all the reasons why you shouldn't take that stuff. It's magicked, it's being tracked, it's meant as payment for other warlocks, things that might be lies or half-truths, you have no idea. And what's passive perception of everybody in the room? So everybody except Alex
16.
and Gus.
So you got me beat with a 16.
This one here is being very quiet and slowly inching his way around the corner.
No.
He's tied up.
Well, yeah, but he can still kind of shuffle along.
Lucius holds up
This
his
is why I
hand.
wanted them all put in chairs in the corners.
Lucius holds up his hand
hmm
with the orb that he has used to cast Eldritch Blast with. Says, "I'm in exactly no mood."
Which one are you talking to? The one in the corner here, or the one?
The guy that's trying to scooch away.
He looks up. He says, "The booze is poisoned. It's got some kind of poison in it. You can't drink it. The man I replaced stole a bottle. They dumped him in the hole."
You hear Gus like groan audibly in the back.
Gus is already
Hold
4
that.
bottles in. He's like, "Oh shit."
Hold that thought. Lucius walks over there. He's pulling out the grimoire that's on the holster on his side.
Mhm.
And pulls it out, and he starts casting a ritual for 10 minutes.
Okay. What is it?
Can we do this outside?
Well, I'm assuming this is taking place as these guys are loading up booze and flatware. And
Oh,
things.
okay, yeah. Go for it.
Do I need to put all of this into a 5-foot sphere for you, buddy?
Fellows, I've been given reason to believe that something of this stuff might be poisoned. So I'm going to go ahead and see if that is a thing or not.
Okay.
Wait, you're just checking for poison? You're not getting rid of it?
I can. How can I get rid of poison?
Oh, I could totally neutralize all the poison in this tomorrow. I've got a chemical concoction just perfect for it.
I won't ruin the taste, will it?
Alexander,
I don't think
gave
so.
up my soul, Alexander. I gave up my soul for this kind of talent. Please let me at least make use of it once in my life.
Sure,
Well,
but like
let's-
2 pinches of salt, half of a mandrake's tail feathers.
What Alex is trying to say is that he would be wasting his resources tomorrow if it's not poisoned, so we need you to find out whether it is poisoned or not before we neutralize it.
So what are you actually doing, Lucius?
I'm casting Detect Poison and Disease
Uh,
out of my grimoire.
Okay.
It is a ritual spell.
Oh, my phone started loading up some bullshit game. Oh no, go away.
Peter goes over to Alex and whispers in his ear, way down near the floor. He was robbed. Got a bad deal on that soul.
Nobody wants to play Super Mario Run. Okay. So, standing at the shelves where Gus is loading up some of this liquor. Oh, you also identify the kind of poison.
Yep.
Yes, all of the drink is poisoned. If you're to drink from any of these bottles, you will be poisoned until completing a long rest.
Yeah, Lucius calls that out and says, "Yeah, we don't want to take this."
I can fix it.
How is that different from just getting drunk?
Trust me, I can fix it.
Try to imagine, and Lucius explains like all of the various ways like your guts could rot out of your own stomach.
Have you seen what I drink?
Yeah,
Well,
at the very least, you end up leaning over the side of the barge, vomiting all night.
So,
this
Gus,
will actually destroy your insides.
where are you storing these poison bottles of liquor?
On the pack saddles of the magical construct that is immune to poison.
Okay,
So-
so how many can he realistically hold?
Let's see what a pack saddle holds. Let me look.
I mean, can let's see.
Keeping in mind you're also taking these 7 sets of...
Oh,
flour.
yeah, the plates come first, to be clear.
How much like ballpark? How much in weight is like out the alcohol here?
I don't know. I'm sure it's in the book.
Love the
Destil's
book.
currently looking it up. The thing is, there's more here than you guys can realistically take in one trip. Is the problem?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Like Lucius just literally, he shouts very loud, like, "Oh, I can do that too.
Don't shout.
I can fix it too."
Great.
I
Love to hear it.
apologize.
Oh, you know, purify food and drink.
Yep, that's one of the 2 spells you guys had me take.
I kind of
Let's
wish
hear
I kind of wish I had gotten that disc. Just load up 200 pounds of booze on it and just fly it out.
Float it up.
After we put the flatware on in the pack still, I'd say we could probably bring like 20 bottles of wine.
20?
Yeah.
Plus, I don't know what do you think Gus could carry?
What's Gus already carrying? Because remember, you got to go back up this long ass ladder.
Gus is literally just carrying he's got his armor.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a shield, and that's pretty much it. I have some torches, but that's it. I don't have my full backpack. There's no point in carrying that around in the city.
So if you're not wearing a pack of any kind, how are you going to secure these bottles when you climb up this long ass ladder?
No, I don't have my full backpack. Like, I don't have anything in it.
We have a half backpack.
I don't have like
it's a camelback.
it's just like an empty backpack.
Okay,
So
we'll
let's say
say
you get 24
you
bottles
take
of wine.
some vague quantity of booze that
I
we'll
love the
worry
vague
about
quantity.
later.
We'll write it down as vague quantity of booze.
And that's it. You
Way
guys
ahead
are,
of you.
also, you guys got to
Really?
get these 3 tied up guys out there.
Oh yeah, we're absolutely doing that.
Does anyone have a contact in the moss caps who won't turn them in immediately so they don't come running down here and botch the job?
All of you did at one point, but all their shifts have been changed. So at the moment, no.
I'm pretty sure that I could cultivate a new contact. I know a guy who knows a guy.
Okay.
Alternately,
So here's Alexander's to-do list is to get these guys to also help bringing the dead bodies out.
Okay.
I'll tie their. I'll just have a gun on them. Whatever. I'll tie their hands and just have my gun out.
So what do you want to actually do with the dead bodies?
I
that's the
want
first
them
question.
to bring them at least to the entrance, and we'll worry about getting them up to the ladder later.
So
but there's like 5 at this point, right?
This room here?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do with the big, ugly pike that your dog got stabbed with?
Yeah, we haven't looted that body yet, have we? Let's.
No.
Yeah. So when Lucius was casting that purify or whatever, can I have cast identify on the pike?
Oh, there's also coins in these boxes, too, before I forget. You can just write these down. 1,800 copper.
Oh wait, one second. Okay.
I got it.
787 silver. And 96 gold. Casting Identify on the pike. Looking at the pike itself, probably not a weapon you see commonly carried through the city. But kind of having an understanding of what a pike is. It looks like a long pitchfork with 2 tines at the end of it. Long enough to stab somebody 10 feet away.
Yeah.
Starting at the base of the pike, it looks like wound around and around the whole base of the pike up to the tines at the other end. At first glance, it looks like a snake. Like a desiccated snake skin that's been shed. But more closely examining it, you think it looks more like a tail. And it's wrapped all the way around this pike up to the tine, where attached to the tine at the top that stabbed Scrappy earlier resembles a stinger. Identifying the weapon, it is indeed a magical weapon, does require attunement.
Okay.
And yeah, stabbing someone with this pike will deal that infernal wound. However,
Am I getting? Okay. Yeah.
something exists in this pike. You've cast Identify on kind of inhabited objects before, and it's not that strong. It doesn't shock you or push you out. But there's definitely like a connection to it. It's plugged in to something or someone somewhere else. And you can't help but feel that it might be dangerous to attune to this weapon.
One second, I'm checking my flaw real quick.
That sounds like a problem for Warlock's Bane.
alternately, we could throw it in the ocean.
No, Warlock Bane will pay us.
Yeah, I think it's better to give it to an expert.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is your insistence with throwing everything in the ocean? Eventually the ocean's going to fill up with all of the terrible garbage that you throw in.
You guys are... Gus is going to get a knock on the door. He's going to open up. The ocean's going to be standing there just kind of angrily tapping its foot.
I'm gonna be real clear here. We have already been attacked by horrible things crawling out of the ocean. We don't need that to keep happening.
Yeah, we need.
It's gonna be a priest of Osprum. They're gonna be like, "Come on, guys, really?"
Listen,
it's right down the road.
have you ever heard of the Davy Jones's locker?
Have you ever heard of a detective agency who had their home invaded by barnacle monster thingies that had slugs and shit in them?
Yeah, once.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah,
I
it was
think
a bad story, right?
it ended up all right. Nobody died.
Wasn't that your fault?
Like me or Lucius?
Yeah, either one. So
But yeah,
you drag the bodies. So the idea is that we'll leave the bodies in this room for now.
I actually want to do it in this room.
In this room? Okay, Nodal, will you write the word bodies in this room?
I would love to write the word bodies in this room. Was that the southwest or the southeast? Southwest? Yeah. Okay.
This one.
The one with the ladder.
Yep.
So I want to try and kind of arrange them as respectfully as possible.
Does anybody beat an 18 passive perception as you guys are working, dragging these bodies back? Keeping in mind that you're watching these three guys and making sure they don't run off as you're doing it.
No.
No. Okay.
So I feel pretty good about the body that got completely blown its head off, right?
Yeah.
Feel pretty good about that body.
It's a pretty good one.
However, still, how many bodies do we have here with heads?
All of them.
Real nice, weird question, but
Do you want to like, I don't know,
I'm just saying it's a horrible demonic stronghold,
Okay.
and I don't want to be
Diabolic.
stabbed by a zombie.
Question. then.
Diabolic.
Do their shoes have shoelaces on them?
What? I don't want to be
No,
attacked by a comedy zombie either.
I mean, their boots probably have clasps or...
Well, I was just gonna tie their shoelaces together.
Yeah, I know what you wanted to do. Yes.
Could one of the wizards put an alarm in this corridor after we have all the bodies arranged at the bottom of the ladder? Actually, you know what? We've got three guys. Let's just bring the bodies to the top. Let's not even leave them in this complex.
Well, yeah, we can bring them with us. I'm just saying maybe we should perform the last rites of Garl Glittergold on them, which is removing their head from their bodies so that they can't attack us after undeath.
Just to make sure we're clear, Alexander, if you take the bodies up to the top, the tower that you entered opens up out into an alleyway in the White Hart district, which means if you bring up three bodies, it would be easy for anybody to come by to discover them just kind of propped up in this tower somewhere.
No.
At this point, you're dumping bodies in an alley in Dunfoss.
It doesn't.
Let's just take their heads off. Take the heads off real quick. No, listen. Seeker reaches into his robes and pulls out a... What's the medal of Garl Glittergold? Gold, I thought? Yeah? Pulls out a nice little gold-plated sigil he made with Garl Glittergold's insignia on it. I am perfectly responsible to perform these rites.
Doubt.
Are you, though?
We are off the rails here. I don't know where the rails
so
are.
hard.
anymore.
Seeker says, I'll run you all through the ceremony. First, we take off their heads.
The three prisoners that you have are terrified at this prospect.
Not yours, don't worry.
Well, Gus says, "Have at it," and hands Seeker his hand axe, and then walks away.
Very small axe. Very small. Axe.
You're a very small person.
All right, fine. You can tie them up, Gus. Tie them up. We'll do the rest of the rites. We won't take their heads off, but you're tying up these bodies.
No, Gus is gone.
Where did Gus go?
Gus.
Did you back up the ladder?
Please.
Wherever we're going to take this rest at.
So let me one at a time.
Someone's gonna tie these bodies.
All right, let me.
This is a...
Shh.
Yeah.
We're taking a rest upstairs in the tower. Yes.
Yeah.
One of the wizards is putting an alarm in this hallway. Yes.
Yes.
You're leaving the bodies down here tied up. Yes.
Yes.
You're doing something to the bodies. Yes.
We're tying them up.
What about the three prisoners?
Seeker is going to get a contact in the moss caps that will take them in, but not immediately have people rush this place, either by... What are you going to do, Seeker? You're going to tell them that we got them somewhere else, or you're just going to tell them to keep them in jail for a couple of days?
I mean, I'm just going to tell them that...
I mean, these are just petty thugs, right?
You should just let them go. They're petty thugs.
Yeah, I mean,
They're petty thugs that were working for.
They're petty thugs that tried to betray us already 3 times.
Yeah,
They have
Literally 3 times.
they
Problems
kind of
with
burned the British
Warlocks,
already.
and then have tried to run off and call their backup on us. How many times?
They told us about the poisoned wine.
After under a lot of duress.
Yeah.
Seeker, are you setting this up before or after you guys take a rest?
I'm gonna set this up before we take a rest, I think.
So you're gonna go do this with like 6 hit points. Okay. Seeker.
Yeah.
How are you going about this? Like, how are you setting up this contact?
Okay, so I have Ear to the Ground, which is a class feature.
Yeah.
That allows me to get in contact with segment of society that your chosen quarries move through. People might be associated, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go to. So I knew the guys that were in our area, but they're gone.
They've been reassigned.
I'm going to. Right. Is there anybody in our area of town that would have gotten to know the new guys already? The new people who have moved in.
Oh,
well, the new people who moved in are all extremely lawful. Have I managed to hear from any like fences or such around the city that have told me that the people that they have still watching them are still our old crooked friends?
You kind of asked like 8 different questions there.
Yeah,
so you've got a class feature you're using. Does this allow you to establish a contact that can deal with these men?
Yes.
Okay, then we can do that. What are we doing with the men?
I'm going to get them to take them in for a couple days.
Lock them up for a couple days, turn them loose?
Lock them up for a couple days, see what they can get from them. I mean, listen, they do what they want with them.
Okay.
Like, whatever they want to do with people who are potential murderers, it's just the deal is, we'll give you these guys, we did that part of the job, but in exchange, you don't rush this place.
So you're telling them where the guys came from?
I'll
find out regardless.
Yeah,
these guys?
They'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, these guys do not stand up to interrogation well. There's no way we can keep them from finding out where they were.
Yeah.
So, Seeker, this is what you're told by your contacts. And this is the first time you're working with this guy. I'll let you worry about who this NPC is. Actually, no, scratch that. Treble, you decide who this NPC is.
All right, hold on.
I'm not trusted.
No, not even a little bit.
You made Caitlin Chubb.
Oh, you're right. God damn it, McDohl, you do it.
Fantasy name generator.
Seeker.
Caitlin Chubb.
Depending on what these guys say, I mean, do you want them to be interrogated?
I like, honestly, like I said, once they're out of our hands, they're out of our hands.
Okay. They'll see that they're not, like, the screws aren't put to them.
Immediately.
But depending on what they say, and these guys you've already know from experience, will say basically anything. Depending on what they say, they might not be able to buy you more than a day before
that should be
Moss Caps or Black Jacket start taking a very distinct interest in this place.
All right, that seems fair to us.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to come back?
Yeah.
All right. Let me make some rolls on my end here. Who put the alarm in this hallway?
Florian, that sounds like you. Oh, wait, I'm the only one with the alarm spell, so it must have been me.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead. You guys are camping out in the tower. Go ahead and take the benefits of the long rests.
Okay.
Once or twice throughout the night, what do you do when people kind of approach into the alley here and there? That does happen once or twice over the course of your long rest. You guys just letting them get close, or are you kind of chasing them away, or how are we working it?
Let's keep a watch, but let's kind of make it look like we're like maybe a group of down in our luck teamsters or something.
Okay.
Like we have all the equipment from sneaking over here in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Let's
just make it look like.
Yeah, let's assemble that into half a scaffolding, right? Like a half-built scaffold over here, and it's just like, well, yeah, our bosses aren't actually paying for us to stay in an inn.
Let's get a deception check. Add advantage.
Let me roll that.
That sounds like our foreman's job.
Yeah.
Lucius is the foreman.
We gave him a nicer hat than the rest of us.
Yeah.
19.
19. And, yep, holds up under small amounts of scrutiny. It's during the long rests. I guess you guys can't do any purification during a long rest. You'd be using spell slots for this. Is that correct?
It's a ritual.
Ritual.
By the way, I set up the alarm to go off and make a noise, not to hit me specifically, because I need to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever's on watch will hear the alarm go off.
All right, I'm gonna go dark and add up a whole bunch of experience. I'm gonna also add up. Let's just say while Seeker was out doing this context, I don't want to deal with this. We had a 40-minute conversation with this goddamn booze already. I don't want to deal with it next session. I'll figure out what you'll get from liquidating that. We'll just assume one of you guys or two of you guys are out there selling the booze.
Could I do one last thing before you go dark?
Oh my god.
I believe aside from the pike, the take in stuff that we got was 4 maces? 5 maces?
You want to melt that down? You want that?
Yeah.
And a scimitar.
It's all yours.
4 maces and a scimitar. Did you carve the leather insignias off of those guys' hands?
The bodies?
Yeah, both of the spellcasters had leather patches sewn into the palms of their right hand.
I mean, Alex would have prevented anyone from doing that. Unless Seeker could tell him it was a religious rite.
No, Seeker did his religious rites after tying them up, which consisted of smacking his hands together, pointing them at the men, and going, "Not my problem."
All right. So yeah, I'm going to go dark for a few minutes and add some stuff up. You guys can be thinking about your blips. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Okay, so most creative.
Okay, I'm gonna advocate for myself here.
Okay, let's hear it.
The rope and the lock.
That was good.
Yeah.
Except it didn't work. But I like.
No, it did. They had to spend 2 actions to get out of that cage instead of 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that was great. I liked that a lot.
Did they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Scrappy was able to pin them down in that cage.
Also, even if it hadn't worked, if we gave it only for when things worked, we would never give it out at all.
Besides, I loved hearing the contempt in Brickroad's voice when he said that he had to use 2 actions to put that.
I said I liked it anyway. So, yeah.
It was very good.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize it actually worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
What comes after creative?
Party goals.
I feel like giving this one to Seeker for all the mind reading.
Yeah. That did cut through a lot of the crap. Although it just ended up with a lot of confused back and forth with everybody, and it's like, ah. But no, I'm cool with that.
A lot about the dungeon.
Yeah, we did learn a lot. Honestly, I think we have more questions than answers after the detect thoughts session.
I tell you one thing that I walked away with that conversation from. There's some deep water over here that they dunk cages in that we need to stay away from because there's probably something down in there because it pulling back bloody cages.
Yeah. Oh, see, I was thinking it was one of 2 things. It was either that or it was another entrance to different parts of the dungeon.
Yeah.
All right then. Badass was badass today.
Oh, Alexander for completely decapitating that poor man.
Boom, headshot.
You have something else?
I'm good with that, badass.
And intangible. Who's intangible today?
I got nothing.
Anyone got something for themselves?
To quote Lucius, I sold my soul for this detect and remove poison spells, and I'll be damned if I'm not going to get to use them. Exactly.
Why would you sell your soul for detect poison and remove poison? Because I feel like if you remove the poison, you no longer need to detect it.
I need to know it's there before I can remove it.
No, you don't. Just cast a spell.
Look, you've never met Nath, obviously.
You cast the spell and you know the poison's gone.
Time is valuable. Time is valuable.
But you had to cast 2 spells.
That's 20 minutes. That's 20 minutes, Nodal.
Exactly.
Anyway.
I enjoyed that. I'd be willing to give it to
you
Lucius for
saying
that.
because time is so valuable, that's why you spent more time doing it?
That's the bougie answer to why you're doing anything. Time is money, and I have lots of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, guys. You really.
No, I think selling your soul for detect poison is perfectly worth the intangibles.
I think that's totally intangible.
I'm good with it.
I spent 20 minutes because time is valuable.
I mean, this is. It's like you guys suggested I take those spells for this specific reason, but then you're like, oh no, Alexander can just do it by farting on it a little bit.
Well, you could do it without a spell slot. He doesn't have.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even the spell slot; it's the preparation slot. Like, I'd actually have to prepare that tomorrow.
Right. That's why I said the detect poison was useful. I just didn't know you also had remove.
Yeah, that was the thing. I thought that you were just going to detect it and be like, "Yep, poison."
One or the other. Both very good.
Gus.
What?
Hi.
Hi.
You selected many bottles of liquor from the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
And using your extensive knowledge on the subject, you loaded up the most expensive ones. Does Gus keep anything for himself?
We rephrase that question. Does drunk Gus keep anything for himself?
Well, the question I have is how closely does everybody else watch me?
This is Gus's area of expertise.
Yeah,
I'm not going to watch him.
I'm not worried about what
think
everyone else is doing.
I think everyone.
Operating under the assumption that Lucius is having to cast his remove poison spell on every one of these, he is probably fairly attentive as to what Gus is doing with them.
This is all incredibly expensive, like alcohol that no, you're not going to
Give me an answer in the next 10 seconds, or the answer is nothing.
Okay, just one bottle of whiskey.
All right, so you keep for yourself the best, highest shelf bottle of whiskey, the kind of stuff that you wished you could always afford. And so, instead of making 1,020 gold pieces selling the liquor, you make 620 gold pieces. And
That's
Gus,
fair.
you have a 400 gold piece bottle of whiskey.
Cool.
All right. Who wants
Better share that.
Who wants some experience? You better not share that. Who wants some experience?
Yeah, all right.
For 3 thugs, 2 bandit captains, 2 cultist fanatics, and a lot of imps, everyone is taking home 980 points of experience. And who wants to do some blips?
I do.
Lucius, go.
I have my alignment, lawful neutral, take your place in society and work well for your fellow people, take care of your own. For when he heard that, oh, torture chamber? Okay, who do you have here? And we should probably go and help them.
And then instead of going and helping them, you stole a bunch of liquor and left.
He said that there weren't any in the torture chamber right now, so
you believed him.
Okay for now. Yeah.
Okay.
I was in his brain.
He was
That's
in
not
his brain
Lucius.
for a while. He was in his brain for a while, yeah.
Lucius, you win that one.
What else you got?
I have knowledge is paramount for finally reading all of the class features that I have, and oh hey, look at this! I have this thing that I should be doing with the poison, and so I did. I found the bad poison.
So in character, Lucius has an ideal called knowledge is paramount, and you want to be rewarded for that because out of character you found a class feature that you have and haven't used yet.
I mean, I haven't really had a wealth of opportunities to use my class features as of late, so it was refreshing.
I feel like this is a dubious argument.
Fine then.
Anything else?
Double or nothing. This bridge is probably not the best place to stand on, but you know what? I need the line of sight. I need the aim.
The bridge didn't do nothing to anybody.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
We tried.
And
I mean, you can't.
Who's next?
You can. Gus.
Gus, go.
Okay, neutral good for being very upset that we're backing out of the dungeon because the little girl is still out there.
That little girl is a demon monster.
We have no proof of that. Like, they literally, a detect magic on her, and she just didn't. She didn't glow whatsoever. I don't know if demons glow, but I'm assuming they glow.
I guess.
But that leads into my ideals. But I relented because of my ideal. That realizing that nobody else can kind of just shake themselves like a dog and restore 1d10 plus 5 hit points. Yeah. So for my ideal, my companions are my support structure, and I must do what I can to protect them from themselves.
Okay.
And then drunk Gus says hello for taking a 400 gold piece bottle of whiskey.
Are you going to share?
We'll see.
Who's next?
Seeker will go.
Okay.
Hello? Okay.
Yep.
I've got anybody can be fooled except for me for telling Gus that we could outsmart these traps by him tying them all shut, and then they popped open and released heck on him. I've got chaotic good. Good is only taken from those that can afford it. Chaos is taking them for all they're worth. For getting every single last piece of information from the thugs, including saying the words, okay, the last thing, I think 5 times. And opportunity is everywhere if you can see it. For saying, no, we're not going to throw this pike in the river. We're going to take it to Warlock's Bane and we're going to sell it for either information, favors, or money.
Okay. Who's next?
The ocean, not the river.
I'll go. Lawful neutral, always be willing to take the law into your own hands, but no further, for working with Seeker to send these guys up the river, but not have the law come down here and actually interfere with what we're doing.
Ocean, not river.
Yeah, up the ocean.
Ideal, the dead deserve dignity, the living deserve to reap what they sow, for trying to do something with the dead bodies, not just leave them lying around rotting.
Okay.
And flaw, I'm sure we can handle this for just popping that door open and sending Scrappy down the hallway.
It would have been pretty funny if I had managed to kill a second player character with an inflict wounds held action on the other side of a door.
Yeah, I don't think my hit points are low enough that it would have been a one-hit kill even on a crit. But
I'm gonna have to switch it up to Finger of Death then.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does Florian have?
All right. True neutral. Sometimes you have laws, but laws are also restrictive. Sometimes you have to be good, but there's no way to define good. For wanting to release the bandits, even though they lied at every single opportunity and try to give us false information.
Mm-hmm.
Ideals, they're infinite truths. We must experience as many as we can and figure out their validity for figuring out that magic mouth trigger and being really excited by it. And that's it.
Okay. We give 1 blip for the most creative solution to a problem in a session.
That was Gus for taking a rope out and tying the lock shut.
That was really good.
That's pretty good. The way I designed that encounter is the locks were all popped off, but an imp could use an action to remove the lock. So if you'd managed to tie all those things up before triggering the magic mouth, both imps inside each cage would have had to use their action to get the door open. So that's pretty good. Who furthered the party's goals the most?
That was Seeker, wasn't it?
Yeah, for all the mind reading.
Who was the badass?
Alexander. For
boom headshot.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 for intangibles.
We gave that to Lucius for trading his soul for the ability to detect poison.
Oh, I forgot to link.
There will be more of that. I just have to find spells to scribe.
Well, Seeker knows alarm.
Hey, Treble, did you get any extra blips this week?
Oh, right.
Nope. Too late.
Talking about. Yeah.
There's your straw poll link in the chat, which I forgot to give you guys. Enjoy. So, intangibles to Lucius.
Yeah.
And Treble has... Wait, why?
The
Video.
YouTube.
Okay. Fair enough. Give the poll a couple minutes to receive a vote here or there. And... Oh, I gotta save this map, and I gotta make sure I overwrite the correct map. It would be terrible if I didn't.
It'd be awful.
Be awful. Okay, seems pretty good.
Worse.
It would be a bummer.
Just remember that last Planescape dungeon that was spread across like 6 different?
No.
No? Okay, fair enough.
I thought it was only across like 2 maps.
I actually forget. I actually
That was
don't know.
before my memory got better.
Oh, okay.
It's all purged.
Sorry. Sorry for your
It's all
loss.
purged.
It's all replaced by anime now.
And Lucius takes our straw poll this week. So everybody came into this session with 6 blips, except Gus came in with 4.
Correct.
Sounds like Gus.
All right. So Alex is taking 4 blips. Blips are worth 250 right now. Florian is taking 2. Gus is taking 5. Lucius and Seeker are each taking 4. Is everybody going to go into the next session with 6?
Yep.
Okay.
That's gonna put me up a level.
Yeah, the 980 is enough for me to get to the next level, so I got to cash in all of mine.
Oh, okay. So what I need to do is go through the rest of the dungeon and soup up all the encounters, because now it's going to be a bunch of level 5 tards rocking through here.
No.
Gus is like, I'm going to stay level 4 forever, so he never has a chance to soup up the dungeon.
I was already level 5.
It's a clever
Do you want to
plan? Yeah.
Do you want to take you down to level 4 so you can do that? Is anybody not level 5?
I think that gets us all there.
Okay. What cool stuff do you guys get at level 5, those of you who are leveling? Or do we not know yet?
Proficiency bonus, 2nd level spells, extra attack.
That's a good level.
Eldritch Invocations, those are fun.
Ooh, your Eldritch Blast rank you up too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be shooting 2 of them now.
Gross.
There we go. Alright, now I can actually tell you now that I've actually leveled up.
Because Florian is doing a UA subclass that they released. Everybody else is following the rules and picked a class out of the book, but not McDohl. He's like, no books for me. I have to use the broken playtest material.
It's not saving my EXP changes, so...
That's because they archived Onomancy.
I do pick up a new spell.
Gross.
You don't get a class feature till 6.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
They might not let you edit your character though because they archived Onomancy.
That doesn't sound right.
What does that mean they archived it?
Like periodically they remove the UA because Wizards of the Coast told them, hey, the UA is not supposed to be up there forever. That's why like Brute and Brute and a couple others are not there anymore. It's still in the list for me though, but it's got in parentheses archived.
This all sounds very complicated.
Yeah.
But I will thank all of you for playing. And I look forward to running you guys through the rest of this dungeon next week.
Yay!
Yep.